Yeah, what's up, guys? You are welcome back to this very wonderful episode with Crypto Delver. All right, so in today's video, I am going to show you how to use the RSI indicator. So, what is RSI? Relative Strength Index. It's a very powerful indicator when you are trading crypto. So, first of all, the things we're going to be learning from this video, they are going to be very simple. First, we are going to be learning how to set it up, because if you do not know how to set it up, it will be very difficult for you to actually use them. Secondly, I will show you the two major ways to use them. That is the RSI divergences, where we have bullish divergence and then the bearish divergence. Then lastly, I'm going to show you how to best make use of this RSI. Alright, so endeavor you stick around till the end of this video so that you will understand every single thing you need to know about this very task. So it's very simple. Alright, so now I'm going to switch to my alright, so I'm going to this is it. So I'm switching to my chart. Now I don't want to waste any time on this video, so just pay attention. It's going to be a very short one. So first of all, what is RSI? RSI is what you are seeing here. So when you look down on this chart, you can see where my cursor is. This is, you see RSI 14. So let me just zoom it so that you see it very well. So you can see this one that says RSI 14. Okay, so you can actually use any number, but I prefer using 14. It works best for me. Okay, now how do we set it up? So first of all, let me remove this RSI. Let me delete it. So I don't have any RSI on my chart now. So first of all is how to set it up. So when you want to set it up, you go to your indicators. So on this place, this is you look for where it says indicators. So this is it. So indicators. So when you click on the indicators, let me zoom it back. So search for relative. So once you just search for it, you see it here, relative strength index. Click on it just once is enough. So it's going to appear here. So I already set my own to 14. So someone might ask, how do you actually adjust the number? Okay, let's check. Let's see. Let me go to settings. Okay, so when you click on settings, where is settings? Settings is here. Hold on. So when you click on setting here, you can see this icon here. So when you click on it, it's going to bring it up. So where you just set the number, set the smooth on, blah blah blah, everything. Okay, so you can just set your own the way my own is. It's not compulsory. So let me just open it up again, the settings, so you can see my settings. So these are my settings. So I don't know, whichever way you want to do yours, it's fine. Okay, all right. So now the first thing you need to understand about RSI is the two ways of using RSI. Okay, now you use RSI in divergences. RSI, we have bearish divergence, we have a bullish divergence. Okay, now let me zoom in a bit. Notice something. These are all candles, all these candles. So every candle here has an RSI number. What do I mean? Hold on. So when I'm going through the chart, you see the RSI number here. This number here is changing. So you see it's 53, 67. Just you see the way it's changing. So this is where I want you to be focusing on this video. Why I show you how to note the divergences. Okay, now let me zoom back again, so that now pay attention to the numbers here. I believe the numbers here are bold enough for you to see. Okay, let me just zoom in again. So now, first of all, let me say I want to look at this candle here. Let me say I want to look at this candle here. So when I touch this candle, this one here, you see there is an RSI number attached to it. So and so it goes. Now, what is divergence? Normally, when this chart is going up, the RSI number is increasing, right? As you can see, this one here now, the RSI number is increasing. And for instance, this one here, when the chart is coming down, like this one here, the RSI is here is 44, here is 45, here is 14, here is 14.3, here is, and so on and so forth. Here is 21, here is so and so forth, and then here is okay. Now, what is divergence? When your chart is going up, the RSI is expected to be going up with it. Now, when the chart is also coming down, the RSI is expected to be coming down with it. So divergences occur when the opposite happens. So that is when the chart is going up, the RSI is coming down, and when the chart is coming down, the RSI is going up within a specific period. So I'm going to show you what I mean by within a specific period. So now let me zoom back again. I don't want it to be too okay. Please just pay attention to the RSI number here. Now this is the BTC chart. This is my BTC chart. So I'm going to show you, you're going to understand what I mean by that. Now let's look at why BTC. Let me put something, a mark here. I don't know if this mark, okay, let me use an arrow. So let me look at this point. So let's study this point. Why did BTC move from here to this point? Okay, even it dumped to this point, it dumped to this point. It was at this very point that it moved. The RSI was divergent here. Now bullish divergence, bullish means something is about to go up, right? And bearish means something is about to come down. So that means, that is to tell you that bullish divergences are seen when the market is dumping, and bearish divergences are seen when the market is what? Pumping. So when you see a bullish divergence, it tells you that okay, market is dumping but it's about to go up. And then when you see the bearish, it tells you that market is, no, the bullish, it tells you that the bearish here, it tells you that market is pumping but young man is about to come down. So reposition yourself. So now how do we study these divergences? Now when you are studying RSI, rule number one, don't compare the R. Okay, if you want to compare RSI, please don't go far away and compare this this candle here with this candle here. No, you study close candles, you know, where it made something like an obvious move. So for instance, from here you can study this one and this one. All right, you can study this one and this one, this one and this one. You can study also this one and this one. Now this trade, let's start from here. This trade at this point, the RSI number is 24.55. all right, now normally this coin went below and came down to this point. So remember, the first one was 24.55. now this one's supposed to come below 24.55, but it is now 26.77. this is what is called bullish divergence. So it tells you that the sellers are getting tired and buyers are coming in. You understand? So, and you see what happened, it was a very massive gain. So BTC was able to move all the way from this candle 62,000 level to almost 69,000. That's a lot of opportunity to make so much money. Okay, so this is it for this. Then let me give you another example of bearish divergence. Let me look for a chart where BTC dumped hard. Okay, so let's check this place. Now notice that BTC moved from this point. BTC moved from this point. Let me use my arrow. It moved from this point down to this point. You see what happened there? Okay, so how do we know that BTC is about to reverse? So this is what I'm going to check now. Let me remove this arrow first. So the case study now here is this arrow here, is this one. So that is the case study. Okay, so now how do we know that BTC is about to dump? Okay, now let me teach you something. Let's take the movement of BTC from this point. The movement of BTC from this point. Okay, now BTC dumped to this point, like pulled back to this point. It went up to this point. Okay, now what is the RSI value here? The RSI value here is 72. Now from this point it went again higher to this point. It came higher to this point. The RSI value became what? 77. So there is no divergence. So that means as the price is going higher, the RSI is also doing what? Going higher. Okay, now let's now look at this very point, these points here, this very point here. Okay, so we're going to see what the RSI did here that caused the divergence. So now when RSI actually pumped again to this point, remember the previous one was 77. Now when RSI pumped to this point, the RSI value became 71. You see that? So that is a divergence. And what kind of divergence is that? It's bearish. So it tells you that okay, it has been pumping, but there's a divergence here, telling you that, man, this coin is about to come down. Now people who don't understand RSI will tell you that fuck up, this thing doesn't work. At the end of the day, see what happened. From 70,000, from almost 71,000, it dumped down to 62. So if you understand RSI, it's going to be a game changer for you in your crypto trading experience. So that is that for understanding RSI. Now, how do we use RSI? Yeah, you have understood how to, RSI, but you need to also understand how to use your RSI. So let me go back. Yeah, we have understood how to see the RSI, but I was expecting someone to wonder, okay, at this point the RSI divergence was 14, right? So when it came down, coming down, I mean breaking that level, the moment it breaks that lowest level. So when, okay, if you want to see now, if you want to see the lowest level, you don't have to guess. Just bring your what is it called? Just bring your your cursor or whatever to that candle. Now look at the top, all these red places. You see, we have H. This place we have O, we have H, we have L, we have C. So O means opening price of that very candle. H means highest price, lowest price, current price. Okay, so now let me hold this. Now you can see that now that the lowest price was 64. All right, now when it came down to this point, the lowest price was 63,000 something. So I expect the RSI to also be lower, but let's see if there was any clear divergence. So when it came to that lower point, you see there was okay, this one was 14. Then the lower one, the RSI should go lower, but it is now higher. So there's a divergence here. Now someone might ask, okay, you said something that when there's divergence, it should go up, but eventually it came down, and it was a lot of movement that if you're not careful, it will take you out of the trade. Now that will bring us to how to use it. Okay, you have to understand the time frame you are trading on. This is the summary and one of the most important things you should pay attention to. You have to understand the time frame you are doing what using for your RSI. See how RSI works. When you see an RSI on 4 hours time frame, before I continue, time frames, I believe you all know what is time frame. All of these things you are seeing, 1 second, 5 minutes, this one, that one, all these one, they're all time frames. So when you see RSI divergence on 1 hour, this is 1 hour time frame, and the divergence is not showing on lower time frame like 15 minutes. It tells you that, young man, you are right, but you need to exercise little patience for the 15 minutes to be confirmed. And when 15 minutes is confirmed and 5 minutes is not confirmed, it shows that that you have to wait for that 5 minutes. So 1 hour is confirmed now, but we need that 5 minutes to confirm, and 15 minutes. And for it to confirm, it has to go below that point it was on that 1 hour. I don't know if you understand how this thing works. So I'm going to give you a typical example of what I mean by that. I'm going to give you I'm actually going to do that right now. So now let's take note of this particular point. Let me mark it with something. Let me do something to mark this particular point, so it will be easier for us to, let me look for something. Okay, let me use what can I use to mark it? Okay, let me just use this little arrow. Okay, so let me just use this little arrow. So hold on. So let me see what I can do here. I'm trying to mark it with something so I can demarcate it from the other one. Alright, so okay, let me just use this arrow here. So this little one, so we are going to study this candle on a lower time frame. Let me change the color to yellow. Let me change the color to yellow. Let me change it to yellow. Okay, so we are going to study this yellow one on the lower time frame. So now this is, remember, this is 1 hour, so I'm going to change it to 15 minutes. I like using 15 minutes. Yep, so I'm going to change it to 15 minutes. So let's see how it goes on the 15 minutes chart. Okay, so this is the same region but on a lower time frame. So this is 15 minutes time frame, as you can see here now at the top. So this is 15 minutes. Okay, now let's see what happened here. On the 1 hour time frame it shows divergence, but on the 15 minutes, when you check, when this thing broke this level, remember this was the previous level we were waiting for. So when it broke this level, okay, as at the point it got to this level, the RSI was 28.7. all right, now it now went again below it. The RSI turned to, it was formerly 28. Now the RSI became 26.8. That means when it went a little below on the 15-minute chart, the RSI went below, so there was no divergence on 15 minutes, even though there was divergence on 1 hour. So that an hour divergence is still valid, but it still needs some confirmation. And that was why you see what happened there. After a brief to and fro, it went up a bit, came down lower again. Now when it came down to this point, see what happened. When it came down to this point, this very candle that you're looking at here, the RSI was 21.8. okay, 21.8. But remember, I told you that yes, you don't compare this point here with this far point. There have been many lower lows. There have been many lower lows. Yeah, we call them lower lows. I believe I've made a video on that. So there have been many lower lows. All right. So you compare it with the immediate one. So for instance, this one was low, then this one broke below. So when this one broke below, you saw what happened. So this one that broke below simply tells you that, man, even when this one broke below here, the RSI was 41, and then this one even went lower to 20 something. So that tells you that the RSI is not yet valid. Now let's see what happened here that caused the pump. Now when the RSI got to this point, you saw what happened here. Now see what happened here. So immediately after this one was this last dump, the RSI was 21. Then the next one would dump again, the RSI became 27. So this was the first divergence on the 15 minutes. And if you go down to 5 minutes again, you will notice that there was also a divergence. So that tells you that the divergence, the coin is now ready. Now if peradventure, when 15 minutes confirms the RSI and the 1 hour has been invalidated, okay, that means that you have to, it will go up, but it will still come back again for those RSI confirmation, whether bullish or bearish confirmations. So I believe if you don't understand anything, just let me know on the comment section, because this is everything you need to understand. Now from this point, you saw what happened. It went all the way up. So whenever you do not see an RSI divergence and the market is showing you opposite, just be patient, it will still come back. And this was why I told you that BTC is going to come back to 26 to below 60,000. Now let me just quickly show you why I said that before I closed this video. So this is BTC chart. Yeah, this is the BTC chart. So I think I can now remove all this little mark here. Hold on. These are my chart. I know I draw a lot of lines on my chart, you know, just to make sure I'm clear on what I'm doing. So I actually saw this on BTC charts on the daily time frame. Discovered that BTC dumped to this dump here. This dump here was, the RSI was around 15, right? So, and it was lower than the previous one. So that means BTC has to come down to this point again for me to know whether the RSI will be divergent or not. Now if you want to see a bigger picture, a clearer picture of this, you can just go to 4 hours. So I use daily, 4 hours, 1 hour and others for my analysis. So now let me just shrink a bit to see what RSI did here. So you see what happened here is dumped to this point. RSI was 18 on this point, okay, and then after so many wasting of time, this and that, okay, I know that this is just going to come down. Now when you study the RSI divergences on all of these things, you notice that if you see a signal on the 4 hours and the RSI, let me say the coin says that the coin is going to come down, and eventually you see the coin going up, probably because the RSI on the 15 minutes chart has not been confirmed, okay, or the lower time frame has not been confirmed, or 1 hour. Now if you monitor it, you notice that for it to come, it will still come back to play out, and then for it to come back to play out, definitely you are going to see another inside divergence. Even I'm in the midst of the pumping, fake pumping, it will flash divergence on the lower time frame immediately before coming down. So if you pay attention to your divergences on this thing, you are going to be very profitable. So don't forget, you can also combine your RSI. You don't just trade RSI, only RSI. It is recommended that you combine your RSI trading with other technical analysis like trend lines, support and resistance, price actions, MACD, Bollinger Band. These help you to get a solid and more concrete confirmation before you enter your trades. Okay, now if you have not watched any of the videos I made, you can just check the screen right now. I have a couple of them, so just go through the playlist and then watch the videos. So thank you very much for watching, and if you have any question, please don't forget to leave it in the comment section. Thank you very much, and do have a nice day.